So after you find a comfortable position, you can start checking on your body. Just gently bringing your attention out from thinking and into your body. Notice all that sensations that they were there before, but you didn't notice. How your skin feels. The weight of your body. How your toes feel. Distinguish the sensation between different fingers and toes. Gently collect your attention in your body. Should be effortless. Let the sensations of your body freely pop up in your experience. Follow them. Maybe there's a sensation in one knee. A few seconds later, in your back. Maybe you notice muscles relaxing in your face. It's an effortless endeavor. Your body loves when you pay attention to it. Your mind, out of habit, will start thinking, but we don't need to think right now. So you can discard any conversation inside of your head and just go back to following these simple sensations that are always there. If you close your eyes, how do you know that you have feet? How do you know you have hair? You're resting your mind, landing your attention in your body. Your face relaxes. Let the tension from your eyes go away just by doing nothing. Your forehead relaxes. And now, start breathing a little deeper, feeling that the movement happens in your belly. Your chest and shoulders are relaxed. But your belly moves as you're breathing a little deeper than usual. Take some rich, deep breaths. Deep, relaxing breaths, where you notice that your belly inflates like a balloon, and gently, with no effort, the air goes out. You're moving in and out about 3 times volume of air as before. So it's not all your capacity, but it's considerably bigger than before. Every time you breathe out, you let go all the tension. Every time you breathe in, you wake up to this moment. Now count 21 breaths. Deep, gentle, rich breaths. Relaxing. Letting the breath to massage your nervous system. Take your time, go slowly, enjoy every breath. The relaxation depends on every out breath. Clarity and wakefulness and attention rise on the intake. Let the breath open the vitality in your body. It's effortless and gentle. Relax, but don't lose the counting. When you breathe in, you're more and more vigilant. There's more clarity. There's more presence. When you breathe out, there is letting go and relaxation. Doing it right, you should notice that there is no end. To the relaxation, neither to the intensity of the attention. Now let your breath go back to normal. You're not controlling your breath anymore. Let your body take care of it as it does all the time. Now it doesn't matter that your breath is short or long. Just let it be automatic. Even when your breath is automatic, you let go of tension. Release all the psychological tension from your day. You don't need to think. With your face completely relaxed. Now you're going to try to stabilize your attention, collecting your attention on the breathing sensations in your belly. There will be sounds around and other sensations. But like when you watch TV, you just discard anything else but what you're watching with interest and relaxation. Your attention may jump out, but gently bring it back to the sensations of your breathing in your belly. Not by force, just by patience. It doesn't matter how many times your attention goes back to thinking on anything else. Just gently bring it back Every time you do so, if you pay attention, you will notice a relaxation, because every time you do that, you're collecting your mind, you're healing your mind, you're letting go of all anxiety, you're letting go of stress, sadness, trauma. Step by step, on every correction, there is a huge win. Notice that to stabilize your attention, you need to deeply relax. You cannot think if you are profoundly resting your attention on the sensations on your belly. The more relaxed, the more clarity, the more stable your attention. You need to surrender all the involuntary chatting in your mind. Go into more essential, profound, simple, and very natural, deep state of relaxation and attention at the same time. In order to stabilize your attention on your belly, you need to let go, surrender. You don't need to think. Just enjoy with interest how your belly automatically moves in and out. Surrender all your fears, all your worries, and nakedly observe this simple choreography of aliveness. Thoughts, sounds, other sensations, they just don't matter. You don't need to stop them, they will be there. Just enhance your interest and the simple sensation of your breath in your belly. Whenever your attention starts stabilizing for a longer period of times, just make sure that the relaxation is deepening. It's not a tense, blocked silence. It's like a deeper relaxation that wakes up clarity on the experience of here and now. And your mind is absolutely useless for this task. How much can you let go and relax? To sustain stability. Now, with the same clarity and relaxation, expand the object to your body as a whole. Uninterrupted, continuous attention to your body. so much clarity and relaxation that thinking start disappearing. Keep deepening your relaxation and your clarity. Sustaining the presence of your body. Expand your attention to everyone in this room. To just feel the presence of all the people. Sustain your attention with relaxation. Feel the presence of everybody in the room. Feel the joyful aliveness in our bodies this moment. With no mind, direct presence. Relax into it. Feel the aliveness in everybody's heart. The synergy in presence. It's like a campfire of presence relaxation and no mind. The relaxation deepens. Feel all the people with your heart, not through your senses, just with your heart. Feel their presence, their life. Rest your mind. And wake up to this moment. Connect or feel with your heart with everyone in Berlin at the same time. Everyone. 5 million people. You can feel their presence. Extend that to all the world. All humans alive in this moment, in different time zones, some of them sleeping, some of them awake, working, eating. Just feel their presence. With your heart. All the people that you love may be far away. rest your mind and open your heart to the presence of life in any form. Feel all the sentient beings in your heart. Now on every breath, you wish them happiness. Breathe a little deeper, and with no mind, wish them to remember the joy of being alive, whatever they're doing. Your heart opens in aliveness. The more you give, the more you have. Wake up the most innocent wish for good to all beings. In this very moment, everywhere. Take some deep breaths, gently, effortlessly, and feel the presence of everyone else. All our hearts are connected like a big heart. We belong to each other. We are the same joy. Surrender and open your heart to the presence of that connection. Breathe their bodies, their hearts. As if they are in you and you are in them. Don't think about it. It's a direct experience, impossible to think about. With happiness and joy for everyone, with the purest innocence and the lightness of your heart. Just notice how the energy in our hearts is the same sun, the same energy. Surrender to it. Just rest a few seconds more and we are done. Just explore how much you can give yourself. How much can you trust this moment and fully relax? Rest. Whenever you want, you can open your eyes gently, slowly. Come back to a more active and yet keep the smooth breath and presence. There's this quote of the Buddha that says, when watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. That's not philosophy, that's not poetry. That's a fact that anyone who goes check can find, and sort of everybody knows. But strangely, through traumas and disappointments in life, we separate from each other. And out of survival, we try to find our personal happiness above anything and everyone else. Like you don't care about anyone else, as so far you have your things. It's not a surprise that we have more anxiety, disorders, and depression than never before. Because if there is one simple, the most powerful, easy way to be happy is just to care about others. It's not a moral statement. It's not because you have to be good. It's not because you are good when you treat others good. It comes out of the direct observation that in some strange way, but very real way, there is some sort of mirror when we relate to other people. And this can be very uncomfortable and threatening. So mostly remains as a religious or hippie songs, or nice sounding statements. But to anyone open to explore the truth behind this, there is a lot of joy. Everybody's looking for love, respect, money. It's a different kind of love, right? Only to find that no one ever really gives love to you. It may look so, but that's a confusion with experience. We can only give it, or more truthfully, it's more, you can only be it, because we are this awareness, this attention that is below all our perceptions, below all our thoughts or feelings. That is aliveness. And it's unlimited. So you can only find that love that we're missing. We are asking other people, we are asking the world to give us recognition, money, as if we would depend on the world to feel love. That is ultimately what we're looking for. is there already. And the reason why it doesn't work is because it's impossible that no one gives you something that you already have. Your heart is already full. But it's impossible to realize that if you don't integrate it in your life, which sounds easier said than done, right? And I don't mean all this good behavior of going to a NGO and giving your money or doing this good Samaritan stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your work, your life, why you do the things that you do. The happiest people on earth do everything because of other people, not for themselves. And it's because you think it's better or it's written on anywhere, or not because the Buddha said it. Is direct observation. And you all know this, right? It's kind of obvious, isn't it? It's uncomfortable, a little. Sounds so innocent that you would say that's childish almost to say that. And from the outside, we have all these logical experiences where someone took something from you or someone did that and they hurt you, and you see, but that's not exactly what happened. You were forcing your world, you're trying to control the people and dictate your own future, which is close to impossible and useless, although we try and try. I hear about loneliness. And it's funny because obviously people in cities feel lonelier than anywhere else. And when you piece your mind down, suddenly start becoming, you could be people for meditation to go deeper into certain processes. They will go alone. So they will go alone in the mountains and stay there for years even. And they don't feel alone even for 1 second. Because of, you need to think that you are alone. And that's what happens, why this irony that people are surrounded by people all the time and yet feeling more separated than ever. We create all these shields of doing business with people emotionally all the time, right? Relationships, you're always looking for something, but this great freedom, and I would say even that's the only moment you actually can love anyone, is the moment that you don't need anything from them, that you don't need them to feel happy. Can you imagine these people, very close people to us, just say, whatever you do, anything you do, wherever you are, you cannot kill this. I will still love you. I didn't want to say like that because it sounds like a Celine Dion song or something. But you know what I mean, right? It is, you feel, wow, you can't do anything to make this wrong. It's such a powerful feeling. The most powerful feeling on earth, really. After that, you just don't care at all about anything else. You say, wow, I'm full. My plate is full. It's just, wow. And then you feel like sharing. And that's supposed to be what we call work. It's not to get more money. It's not to be safe in the future. It's not that, most of the time doesn't even happen like that. But it done in a healthy way should come from wanting to share yourself, wanting to share your experiences, your personal discoveries, whatever it is, the skills you develop. But ultimately is to serve others. And I think we are all the time, when I hear, for example, people thinking, I don't know, you go to a job, what do you want? What is your goals in 5 years, 10 years? There's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is that we put the emphasis on what this job is giving me. I'm going to change the job so I'm going to get more money and better conditions so I can be more comfortable, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but if you put the emphasis on that, you start unbalanced very profoundly deep inside of yourself. It's like, and you go unsatisfied all the time, and you will quit all the jobs in the world. This is obviously a process to everyone, because most of us haven't been raised in that way of doing things. So you just get a job so you can have a family, or, you know, it's just a thing you should do. And just a job. The point is to earn money, really, or respect from other people. So you are a doctor, or you are something that your parents will respect you. I don't know for you, but that point will never come. Your parents can love you, but that's like giving your power away to your parents or the world. It's like giving them the chance to turn it all around. And we are so deep into mental dynamics of habits of this physical business all the time that we kind of lose touch with this tremendous feeling of joy, so much that for most people it would take a bit of effort in the beginning, maybe to really start lining up with deeper layers of you here and now. It seems to be work, but good news, very soon you can start realizing that it's about letting go. So it becomes less and less effortful, more and more natural. Meditation is not about achieving something in the future or growing up into a better version of you. No, you're already perfect. Like children. And you really rediscover the joy of being alive. It's the most precious thing in the world. There's no way you can capture it in a beautiful beach or creating the perfect circumstances or keeping the people that, you know, like we're trying all the time to control to see if we could feel that feeling. But bad news, you're never gonna make it by means of forcing your reality into what you want. That's where many in the spiritual community, let's say, many people are like, watch out, all this law of attraction thing. Just because, not because there's anything wrong with it, but it could reinforce in you the sensation that you're not perfect and pure already. And that's a really bad move. It will only make you more frustrated, even when you get everything you want. Life changes and people have the mansion, people have whatever it is, and they got sick. Or they don't have that relationship. How many people with a lot of money don't have love, actually? Anyway, the intention of anyone, I think, trying to collect all this, I don't know how to call it, activity of getting together and letting go and just reverting into a more essential, basic state of being here and now, without all the conversations and all the stories we tell ourselves, with all the plans and all this desperate attempt of doing things. Yes, most of us, we need to go through releasing our trauma. That's why for most people it's really a pain in the ass to meditate. They would rather do something painful than to sit. Actually, there was a study about that. I think it was, I don't remember exactly, but it was very funny because recently, I don't know where it was. I think it was a Nordic country. They just put together people and tell them you can do nothing. Or it was something like, I don't know, somewhere like,
shock, like this study of like people would shock themselves.
no, it wasn't that one. It was another one. I just listened to it. I'm not sure, but it was a very reliable source. It was a scientist who mentioned that study. It's very funny. Like something like 60 to 70% of people would rather harm themselves. I don't remember how they did it, but there was something harmful they were able to do than just doing nothing. It says so much about ourselves. So yes, sitting in meditation, which is basically about doing nothing in the sense of letting go all these layers, it's gonna feel like a leap of faith. So hopefully that's why it's positive to get together and sit with other people with the same intention. Hopefully it helps you go stretch farther and maybe find a gap where you can rest a little deeper and brings a little bit more of motivation to, okay, I'm gonna try that at home. And if you do that, you're gonna find yourself that it works. It just works. And that's the reason why I want to invite people to hear, is just to say it out loud, to say, looking at people, to say in your face and saying, yes, 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 yes. Yes, it just works every single time. Every single time. It requires some adaptation. Everything we do in life is for a reason. Like so many people will sit to meditation to get rid of anxiety, or it's alright that you approach it from that way in the very beginning. But good news is that no, it's more like dancing. It's stupid. It's silly. It's obvious. It's already there. You don't need to work hard to be a meditation master. Actually, the working hard is what is preventing us from being a meditation master, if you want to put a label to it. But there is the biggest win you can imagine. I don't know if this makes sense to you. I don't know how abstract it is for some of you, but imagine all this joy you're looking forward to in whatever you're motivated to do in your life. The point is that is already in you, and you don't need anything or anyone to reach it. You don't need to become anything else. You don't need to even learn anything. All these apparent smart philosophical things, or the capacity of keeping your body still, or that's just what will happen in your search. Each one will develop different things. And so people may never sit, but they will be just good to other people. And it's necessary. I've been in so many, you would call them, my mother called them sects. Actually, I've been brainwashed a few times. And it was ridiculous. I got into every mess I could in this and never got in trouble ever. Because in order to get in trouble, you need to be emotionally dependent. But actually, in general, I never found anything or anyone. It's kind of easy to point out when you reach the energy of the group, but anyway. The point is that I observe many people who maybe, I don't want to say the word awaken or enlightened, but directly as much as I can. And each one will talk very different. They will disagree even in different things, but something you can tell is that they have real appreciation for humans. And it's a trademark of actual evolution, I would say. And it's there. You don't need to know all these tricky exercises or techniques. Like, If you never try to sit, meditate, working with your mind is still complicated.
I didn't really get that point. Can you elaborate on that a little?
The last thing that I said?
Yeah, I didn't get what point you were getting at.
That thank you. Good night. Thank you. I'm trying to make it very accessible. What we're targeting, sitting, and I want everyone to feel that although you may feel new to meditation, I don't want you to feel new to what we're going for. It's not a therapy. It's not a thing I'm trying to invite in the most common human way. And I was trying to say that you don't need to, although I will personally, if you ask me, I would say it's a really good idea. It's a really good idea to sit down and control your nervous system, period. And your mind. Hopefully you got a bit of calming down, and then you can directly observe. It's like diving into yourself. You can start observe all these apparently philosophical lines. But at the same time, I wanted to make it sound very accessible. Like you can do it tonight. You don't even need to do a good thing to anyone. You just in your heart, think of someone and feel grateful they're in your life, or just happy for them. Instead of focusing on make yourself happy, make other people happy. And I'm not talking about some people. There is, of course, the case of people twisting it the other way around and looking for someone to abuse them. Like someone who don't take care of themselves, and they will just try to satisfy other people, right? We're not talking about that. I think it's a very, very powerful statement. What it says, you take care of yourself, you take care of others, you take care of others, you take care of yourself. And in the practice of that, you realize the same thing you are realizing when you sit to meditate, which is that everything is one. And I'm not saying because it sounds like a great philosophical line or abstract thought. I'm talking in the most real way. If you peel out like an onion the mental activities, you end up in your heart. In the very beginning, and for a long time, it can seem a little dark or empty because we are missing this excitation. So it feels, but if you just rest a little deeper, start going calmer. And this calmer at some point turns into peace. Peace is just stillness, right? So if you still your mind, you find peace. That is already revolutionary, I would say, for most people, because we are so stimulated. It's challenging to remain peaceful, right? But if you do that, then that peace, like a chemical reaction, the more you settle, the more you sink in, start becoming more joyful. And I know all of you too, because this is a natural thing, right? This is the bottom of our being. So it's not strange. You are right now already there. There is only layers on top of it. So we're discussing about just opening. So when you think about a good moment, a beautiful moment, that joy you feel, it's there already. It's like going down there. So the point here being, it's there all the time, and every single moment is an opportunity to do it. I still encourage everyone to develop the skill of stilling your mind, which is done by a bit of the process what we discussed before. You choose one object, could be the breathing, it's a very common one, but something that I hear a lot of people talking about meditation and meditating for years, and actually there's people who meditate for 20 years and then don't get to any breakthrough. But the silliest thing, every time you talk to these people or anyone who is not succeeding on meditation, they are not stabilizing their attention. It's just, to me, seems ridiculous. I don't understand how is the point is not made more clear. No, you really need to stabilize your attention. Otherwise, you won't be able to notice. And you can't be lying to yourself, sitting and getting all the thing to feel spiritual or reading all the books and told like this, like that, but it won't feel like a realization in your being. So first thing, still your mind. Super simple. It's disappointingly simple. You go there, you start seeing how your mind convulsions involuntarily into going here, going there. Just bring it back, and little by little, this fire start growing. At the beginning, just like I try to make fire with 2 sticks. The very beginning is really frustrating, but to anyone who pursues, that is there. It's physics. It just happens. Settle your attention on one object. Whatever happens, go back to it. Little by little, the gaps are going to be longer, which sounds simple, but it's like that stage feels like exercise. It is not, but it feels like that. It feels like you're doing something, like you're concentrating or you're doing, but it's actually the opposite. It's the way our mind can only do things. And we are so identified with it that when you try to do something in the other direction, it feels like that you're doing something, but you're not doing something. And obviously that becomes a problem very soon because you cannot go deep into that. But that's where how brilliant is the idea that you can stabilize your mind in one object, and it can go for hours. And I'm really looking forward to share every detail on how beautiful it can become, just to see your mind settle in one place, not falling. Most people don't notice. Hopefully you do, but probably notice that the problem here is that you don't notice when you go away. That's the tricky thing, right?
I had that many times already. Like it happens in the middle of the session. Like at the beginning of the session, like when you start focusing your mind, I can focus on my breath. I can listen to things, feel myself, feel my clothes, everything. And then around the middle of the session, I start going away without noticing. Like I don't even notice that I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
And I don't notice the time passing while I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah. It's unconscious.
I don't know how.
Unconscious.
I don't know how to beat that.
That's suffering. That's suffering in the sense that that's the root of suffering. That's we lose the grounding in this moment, and that need to happen in order for us to suffer. Okay, so yes, it's what he was saying. Is that something that you relate to? It is very common. You're not gonna notice the moment you go away. So in the very beginning, it feels like, oh my God, this is too difficult. That's why people quit. But just relax. That's another thing that I think people do wrong out of the box. They try to force their mind back into the object as no. You're doing something extra. You need to let go of it. So if you let go, suddenly you're here. So in the same way, you teach your mind to, you're teaching a dog, because it kind of is what's happening here. We are teaching our bodies and our mind as we are taming an animal. Which sounds a little harsh, I know, but it's very close to what it is. And
monkey brain.
Yeah, but not only that, our bodies too. Our bodies, you notice there's so many impulses in us that come out of survival. So the simple, powerful idea, just focusing on one object, your mind will go away. Just go back to it. And in the very beginning, it's completely... Well, actually, in the very beginning, you just go out for the 10 minutes of the session. And this is so common that, as I said before, I don't understand it. I hear from people going to retreats, and in their daily experience, they notice that. And they say, yeah, because my lifestyle is so bad, so when I go into a retreat, I need to go to Thailand, to this island, beautiful island, this monastery, to find my balance, you know. And
I think one thing that always helps is like if you feel like your thoughts kind of go away without you knowing, the simple question to ask is, what's my next thought?
yeah,
And there's silence.
yeah,
And when you practice it, then there's like a gap between thoughts. And that's
Yeah.
like that sweet spot.
it is true. That's many happened. I think some of you have experienced that. Maybe not practice like he's suggesting. that is like try to revert your attention into what's coming, but it's a very slippery object of attention. That's like observing your mind directly.
Because you start thinking it.
But there's like always kind of like a gap between and the next thought, and that's like that silence.
Yeah, but when you ask yourself what's my next thought, that's also you thinking and not being present.
It's more subconscious.
But it's like more like directing your mind to it. That's supposed to be an observation, right? Like pointing, and all the spiritual teachings that you could read of, like these lines are pointers. So they are trying to point to experience. So that is a I think it's a good, useful thing, because in the very beginning it's so crazy that you lose completely awareness of what's happening. So that question, it brings about a tap back to it. But so first you observe one object. Again, the breathing is the first one, but it could be a candle, it could be sunset, it could be a continuous sound in your environment, it could be a physical sensation, anything. Just sit on that. And the point is not what you're observing, the point is to bring back your mind to it, like to train it to stay there. When you do that, gaps start happening. But you can do that, but you don't need to do that. I'm just saying.
It's for people who can't start.
It can go very deep if you do it directly. But the problem is going to be staying there, because all these involuntary things are going to come. So you can do it just so far.
Sometimes when you do it, after you practice it a bit, and when you ask the question, you go really deep into it and kind of...
You can, and some people will be lucky some days, and that's great. Please do anything that feels like it's working always, different things will work for different peoples. But the point ultimately is that we're stabilizing our attention. That's the key element that I want to bring again and again. And you just need to have a very simple focus on it. So any object would do. In that case will be your mind, but that's a more advanced object. And you
or TM, maybe you have like your mantra, like transcendental meditation.
Yeah, exactly. That would be an object. Yes. Yes, but any object, as I said. But the point is what you do with that object. Just go back to it, and then you will start releasing involuntary energy that you are losing all the time. Start having little by little more power. And power, I don't mean like power. I mean like aliveness. Like it feels like a candle without wind. It feels perfect. It feels powerful in that sense. And that goes to very sophisticated levels. And I'm really looking forward to share all this stuff. And please do it, all of you, and come back to me and say, no, this is not working, or saying, just go back to it. So at first, the point is that it's so disappointingly simple that most people will get frustrated. But I'm just here to tell you, there is a lot around the corner if you keep trying. And if you learn to relax, that's something many people don't know. You really learn to monitor how long during your session are you able to sustain your attention. That will mark the standard of the quality of what you're doing. So if you try to sit for 20 minutes and your attention is off, just don't do that. Sit for 3 minutes and go full on it. And different sessions during the day. I mean, this is just a tip, but I think it's a very relevant tip for people to understand. If you are so demanding of your meditation, little by little, you could start knowing firsthand what it is to meditate. And every meditation should feel like dancing in the disco. It's like an end on itself. It feels like you are in the sweet spot. It feels like, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And your potential is so incredibly powerful. Powerful in the sense of the stability of your mind. You go out to normal life, and first thing, you get out of all your problems. You get that little thing aligned in your life, all your behaviors, everything starts falling into place like a domino. That's why it's so incredibly powerful. But you need to understand what you're doing. People just get these apps with meditation and just do, which is good because it's better than being stressed. But I think it's very important to make the point, no, you need a very clear reference to which you evolve to. And it's very simple. I already said it. Stay there, stay with your meditation. In the very beginning, you're going to force it. It's like, you're going to feel distracted. do it, try different things, different formats, but try to stay there. And the more you stay there, the more all these energies start gonna build up. The more you're gonna start noticing things, and the more these apparently cheap statements of love is there start making more sense. And I know it's a lot to say, but I'm really saying it. That is there already, that feeling, that joy, that way beyond you can imagine, literally. It is there already, yours. You don't need to get any merit or become anything or anyone to be there. You just need to really, as life is so this confusing, you need to have your priorities. That will be the point. So everybody does like a trip until you realize that if you don't have this point, nothing in your life will ever work. That I think most people take years to really get to the honest decision, like, no, you really need to. Otherwise, nothing you do, no relationship, no job will get you anywhere. At the same time, the more you do that, the more you start feeling freedom from anything or anyone. Like you don't need anything or anyone because you're already kind of happy. Yeah, you feel like celebrating. You feel like before you guys were coming, I was feeling happy that you were coming. It's just like, and it's silly. Most people, if you try to express that feeling, people say, that's childish. But no, it's the way I feel. And I want to wake up in the morning. I want to all this energy start coming out of your life, and your life turns. It's a process, I think, for most people to turn all our distraction. But the sacrifice is to say, it needs, for this to really work, it needs to be on the top of your priorities. That is the problem for most people. That's why you say, okay, if that works so well for so many thousands of years, how is it possible that? Well, we get trapped. We get trapped into different options. Yes?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Regarding what you just said. So you said that it's important, or we should be happy already now. So do you think is it good to have a purpose, or to have to have something to look forward to, just
Yeah.
something? Okay, I go to this direction, that path, this direction. This is where I want to go to, or is it bad to have such a?
No. The bad thing will be to think that you're gonna be happy then, and you feel miserable now, and use that excuse of making so much effort and all this to get to one day where you will be happy. That's the problem. But if you root with this thing, yes, you're not going to be inactive or passive at all. So goodbye. So you'll feel like sharing and going around and doing a lot of things. So you feel it when you're honest with yourself and you talk about, I really feel like doing that, to go into this other country and doing something, or what it looks like a goal. But if you're doing it from the realization that you already have what you need, you don't feel that you need it. So it's more like a game. So it's fun. Okay. Can you turn the light on, please? No problem. And so there's a great release and sensation that it doesn't matter if you don't get there. And it's fun and it's good. And please, by any means, be active in that sense. But this is the part that comes a little farther in the process. The more you start stabilizing, the more you start noticing that there's this stability, that whatever your mind and your body does, the stability is always there. It's like a stillness, like Buddhism, they call it emptiness. Like there is something that is beyond physical, but it's very real and very direct. It's not something abstract. It's here. If you peel it enough, you find it. When you find that, you notice that your body and your mind can do anything. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it's a joy. It's a celebration. It's all. That's what I was trying to say. I mean, if all our goals would be to make this world better, I know this sounds a little cheesy too, but in a good sense, in the innocent, childish way, like making other people happy because that makes you happy and you want to share your skills and you want to share what. If we would all do that, this will be heaven. Right? Have you ever thought about what heaven is? What would look like? I mean, the most utopia, biggest dream ever, what would it look like?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Not?
Looks like nothing.
Looks like nothing? In which way?
Blissful.
Like you just don't exist.
Like in suicide? Yeah, I know what you mean. You're talking about Buddhism, right?
I'm not sure.
Because in Buddhism, they have this concept of nothingness in a way of negating things, the world, in order to point out to this other thing that is immaterial. So in that sense, it will be right. But the way we're navigating the conversation right now, we're talking about from the most material Western, even Christian, I would say, way of thinking in terms of where we are. What it would be the utopia?
Yeah, blissful, peaceful.
Blissful and peaceful. Definitely, but okay. Just don't want to go so deep. Yeah. If you really think about that, if we'll be nice to each other all the time, can you imagine that? Like this was saying, everybody caring about each other. Isn't that like? The thing is that you have to be first. But in the other way, it's kind of happening. And I know it's already happening in a way. It's just there. It's already palpable. And this joy is there. And this love to each other is there. I hope you got so deep into the meditation that you could feel, not just as a statement, not as an abstract thinking. This thing of feeling our heart perceives. In any given moment, try to see the situation from your heart. And you will notice like just a little, when you talk to someone, feel your heart, feel that person's heart. And you will notice a little, and if you do it a lot, it will switch a lot. And what all this point is, there's a reality and it's a really quick, easy fix to happiness. And again, I'm not talking about behavior. I'm not talking about being good. I'm talking about you honestly trying to care about other people. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I hope you got what I meant. Really grateful for your presence and all together putting our hearts and minds here together, trying to figure out, trying to rediscover what is already there and try to be free all together as one. We don't know each other. I don't know what you guys do in your life. I don't know where you live. I don't know where you come from. But I feel your presence and it feels very close to my heart. Thank you.